Hi. It's been a little minute. I hope that you guys can hear me. I tried to fix the audio on my mic. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello, my name is Latera. I'm a multimedia content creator here on the tube and across other platforms. All my platforms will be linked here. I look a little crazy. When I do have these clips in my hair, that indicates that I have done a wash and go, which is gonna be the theme for today's video. I've been seeing a lot of controversy. Yes, I've been seeing a lot of controversy about wash and goes and about how people don't like doing wash and goes because they don't last and it's not like a wash and go. And that is true. A wash and go is not just a simple wash and go, especially if you have curly hair. You do have to add product to it and all that type of stuff. So it's definitely a wash and style type of sitch. But all that aside, I am here to give you 5 tips that can help you make your wash and go last. Typically from 5 to 7 days, my wash and goes, I have started washing my hair at least once a week. So they typically last for like 5 to 6 days, and that 6th to 7th day gets kind of shaky, kind of rocky a little bit, depending on how I take care of it throughout the week. Hello, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you do get notified when I post. If you want to stalk and stick around, all of my social media will be right here, as well as linked down in the bio below. Be a part of the village, be a part of the family. Getting into the video, a list of my top 5 tips for wash and goes, and we're just going to go down the list and kind of talk about it. Like I was saying earlier, a wash and go is not just simply a wash and go. Most of the times you do have to style your hair and put the product in, but if you do a wash and go correctly, this is usually the last time you actually have to work on curl definition and making sure that your curly hair is actually looking good throughout the process of the week. The rest of it is just going to be a bunch of like maintaining, or if you want to do different styles throughout the week, this gives you a good foundation and a good base for your hair. So my first tip is that all wash and goes truly do start in the shower. I know that a lot of people think that a wash and go has nothing to do with the actual beginning parts of it or the shower parts, but actually that is the foundation of your wash and go. If your hair is not properly detangled, get out of the shower to do your styling portion, you're going to run into a lot of snagging, and that's going to ultimately lead to more frizz in the hair because your product isn't able to get into the parts that you're wanting to define, and it's going to make the shape of your hair curls look very weird sometimes because you put product on parts that are like clumps, and then when it dries, it's going to dry all disgusting. So you always want to make sure that you are properly detangling your hair for when it comes to any of these wash and goes. And then secondly, always make sure that you are cleaning the product out of your hair. When I say cleaning the product out of your hair, I mean products from previous styles throughout the period in which you hadn't washed your hair, as well as making sure that you are getting all of the shower product out of your hair as well. Unless you are someone who puts leave-in conditioner in the shower that you're meaning to keep throughout the rest of the style, always make sure that your hair is clean, because when you get out of the shower for a wash and go, you want to make sure that you're starting on the cleanest hair possible so that the products can actually get into the hair the way that they're supposed to be getting into your hair. So since we're on the topic of products, product choice is super key in having a good wash and go. And it doesn't just mean the products that you're using for the styling, it also means the products that you're using in the shower. You want to make sure that you're using a shampoo that is very cleansing for your hair. I know that there's a debate between like stripping shampoos and non-stripping shampoos. I think you should get what works best for your hair, your porosity type, your hair type, all that kind of stuff. I personally, I wasn't super big fan of stripping shampoos, but a couple of weeks ago, I ran into the issue where my hair wasn't actually defining and the products, it felt like, weren't working. So I tried to do this whole switching up my product routine, as you guys saw from my texture ID video. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. And what it actually came down to is the issue is that my hair wasn't getting completely clean because the shampoo I was using was not strong enough. Therefore, all the product that was just sitting in my hair from previously had just been sitting under the new product that I was trying to put in my hair, and so it wasn't taking. So I say all that to say, getting a good shampoo for your hair is actually very crucial. The next thing would be a conditioner. So you want to make sure that your conditioner is adding moisture back into your hair or helping your hair to feel like it is not as stripped after you do that nice cleaning of the shampoo. So it sounds a little counterproductive, but once the hair is actually clean, you can go back into adding moisturizing layers to it, which is where your conditioner as well as your deep conditioner come into play. Since you're washing your hair at least like weekly or maybe bi-weekly, which is what I do, I try and wash my hair like weekly or bi-weekly depending on how the state of the world is outside and how it's affecting my hair. You want to make sure that you are deep conditioning at least twice a month. I like to deep condition weekly because I feel like it is the best for my hair, and you will definitely feel a difference. Your hair will not feel as brittle if that is one of the issues that you're having, especially for my girlies who be using like really thick gels or really like crunchy gels and stuff like that. The stuff in those gels could be potentially taking nutrients out of your hair. So I would always be sure to deep condition just to add in that extra element of protection. So the next thing with products is you want to make sure you're getting a wash and go product combination that works for your hair. This is one of the hardest parts of the wash and go process, simply because finding a good combination for your hair can be very time consuming. It can be very discouraging as well. A lot of the times things that I may say that work for my hair might not necessarily work for your hair, or vice versa. It has a lot of different effects, and the only way for you to figure out what works for you, unfortunately, is to just try it. You can look around at other people and see what they're using to help you kind of grab a base so you're not just blindly looking for a lot of stuff, but you do have to find the correct combination that does work for you, and that may take a little time, but it will be definitely really rewarding afterwards, because the worst thing is going through and doing a wash and go and you're like, okay, this is cool, it looks cool, and when it dries, you just spent all that time for no reason. Like my whole wash day process probably takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and there is nothing more defeating and saddening than the whole thing just fluffing up. There's no definition, there's no curl, and then I'm washing my hair again in like 3 days, and I just spent all this money on the product, because let's not act like products are not expensive, and also they just didn't work, so it's just a waste altogether. A good way for you to tell if products are going to work or not is to do the good old hand swap, and that's basically like on your hand, right? You're going to put the products that you're trying to layer on top of each other, and this is where this becomes an issue as well, is when you're layering your products on top of each other. If you're doing like one product wash and goes, or people who do gel only wash and goes and stuff, that's perfectly fine and you don't really have to worry about this. But if you are someone who layers products by using like an oil, a leave-in, a mousse, or a gel, or whatever kind of situation you may be using, if you put the products that you're trying to layer on the top of your hand and then mix them together, if the products are going to work together, it's all just going to like smooth out and become invisible, as if it just blended into your hand. If they're not, you're going to start to see a clumpy white mixture, and that is actually what is happening on your hair, and that's what leads to hair flakiness. And when everyone knows when it's snowing on your shoulder, it's because the products aren't combining well together and they do not mix. My next tip for you in making sure that your wash and go is lasting is making sure that you're protecting your hair overnight. I say this in every single video because it is one of the most important parts of taking care of curly hair. You always want to make sure that you are protecting your hair overnight. You want to make sure that you're using some type of bonnet or scarf, and if you don't have something, at least put your hair up in a pineapple. Don't lay on your curls, just whatever. It sucks the moisture out of your hair, and that is what causes frizz. And when your hair is frizzy, it is then harder to maintain your wash and go because it can just get out of hand a lot quicker. Another thing is making sure that you are refreshing your curls as needed throughout the week. I don't mean by redoing your whole wash and go or anything like that. I just mean by adding in some oils to either your scalp or your ends and sprinkling maybe like a little mist. As I Am has a water mist that I like to sprinkle over my hair, and it just kind of like adds a little extra bounce to my curls throughout the week. Instead of the hair looking like really old and the curls looking dull, you do want to just give them a little extra boost, and that could increase the longevity of your wash and go, as well as making sure that your hair is not dry and brittle and starting to break off. The last tip that I have, and this is me talking specifically to myself, is you need to keep your hands out of your hair. As someone who just plays with my hair as a comfort thing, especially when I get in uncomfortable situations, I am quite often putting my hands in my hair or like pulling the bottom of my curls or whatever, and that is really not good for your hair, because if you do that sometimes, or speaking for myself, when I do this, I tend to like rake through my curls and separate them. And although I do feel like that is helpful if I'm trying to like get more volume in my style, as far as making my wash and go last, it's just going to not last as long. When you start adding like volume and things to your hair, it just decreases the time in which you can have your hair out before you do start to run into things like your hair feeling super dry, or a bunch of stuff is getting maybe caught in your hair throughout the day. And when your hair is frizzy, it's because there's a lack of moisture within the hair. So if you start to pick through your hair and stuff like that, you will really start to notice frizz, and it's because you are breaking the hair apart and it's not able to hold in that moisture the way it was when your hair was together. The best thing to do is to just kind of let your hair grow and air out as the days go by, if you are kind of looking for a more voluminous look, I would say, or you just need to add that volume in the very beginning and then try and maintain that throughout the week for the most successful version of that wash and go. So for the last part of this video, I did just want to come in here and give you guys 3 of my top combos, my wash and go combos for products that I use outside of the shower that give me the most defined curls, as well as they last the longest in my hair. I do have type 3C for a low porosity hair, just to throw that in mind. So this is what works for me, and y'all are welcome to try it. First combination is going to be the Big Papa by the Dew Gel and Texture ID Low Porosity Leave-In Conditioner. I recently tried this leave-in conditioner. It's really great. It smells really good. I get a lot of compliments on my hair smell when I do use these 2 products together, and it doesn't leave my hair feeling any weird kind of way or anything like that. My next combination is going to be, again, Big Papa by the Dew Gel and Shea Moisture Strength and Color Care Hair Primer and Styler. I was using this a lot when I first colored my hair last year, and this is still one of my favorite staple products. It goes in really smooth. It's very lightweight. I think that for me, this just works best because it doesn't allow the gel to overly crunch in my hair. And then the last wash and go combo that I have for you is going to be the Texture ID Styling Cream mixed with the Wetline Extreme Gel. Something about Wetline Extreme Gel is just very scary. Like the way that it leaves your hair overly crunchy, I feel like should be studied. At the end of the day, it's a good gel. It's very affordable, so I'm gonna throw it in there. It's a good wash and go combination. When I was using this a lot more often, I was constantly getting compliments about my hair, about my curl definition, all that type of stuff. So if you want to try it, if it's a gel that you use, I definitely recommend trying it. That is all that I have, and those are my 5 tips that I have for you guys in making your wash and goes last a little longer than 2 days and being frizzy and disgusting. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did find anything super helpful, please be sure to let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what your go-to wash and go tips are and what your favorite wash and go combinations are. But with all that being said, I will see you guys later. Bye.